Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Tiabu and I am here for more episode 2 treasure hunting. We've got a few to do. We're going to do a few. I'm going to start off today with Yesterday wo Utatte, episode 2. First and foremost, thank you, shoutouts to Inmorton on my Discord for sending me some links to some episode 1 and episode 2. Thanks for doing that. Scenes that are apparently like only available via one particular streaming service that end up being after credit scenes, and I don't know if there's anything that's going to be plot relevant in them in the future, but they exist, and I guess there are ways to get them. So thanks for sending those to me, Inmo. I have gone ahead and watched the episode 1 scene already. It's about 50 seconds long, and it's pretty fluffy. It's just the main guy gives Raven Girl the CD cover album thing of the photo that he took of her, and it turns out that mostly she's cropped out of the picture and the Raven is actually the focus of it, and she gets a little bit upset about that, but it's in a pleasant and like playful way, and it's just kind of fun and fluffy. And then main guy says something about like, oh, my boring daily life continues. Okay, cool. So, first episode of Yesterday wo Utatte. It was pretty good. I thought it was well produced and well put together. There were some nice background stuff going on, a couple of great pieces of little character animation, and generally an interesting piece of story. A lot of people were saying that they get like Welcome to the NHK vibes, where sort of isolated guy meets kind of off-ball girl, and she becomes kind of his manic pixie dream girl, and then introduces him to the world outside of his otaku place. It kind of has that kind of vibe. I'm not really sure. I'm expecting more. I don't know what to expect from this. It seems like there's gonna be a three-way romance triangle thing going on here between our guy, and then the teacher lady, and then the girl person. Hmm. Okay, climax of the previous episode occurred mostly when main boy got up the nerve to go and actually confess his feelings to the pretty lady, the pretty teacher lady. And she turned him down, which was exactly what he expected and seemed to be what he wanted. Some people have been speculating whether she was actually turning him down because she's not interested in him, or if she was turning him down out of some kind of unexplained guilt over whatever happened between her and the younger girl at some point, and she seems to feel responsible for whatever that was, and that seems to be like the core starting point of all of these characters' stories, really. But we don't know what really happened there, but there's some resentment there. And so some people have put forth the idea that maybe teacher sensei girl has actual feelings for Guy, but has turned him down partly because she knows that's what he expected from the conversation, and because she seems to know that maybe something is happening between Guy and Raven Girl and doesn't want to get in the way of that because it would be too close for comfort to her previous guilt or something. There are a lot of little things going on here, but we've only got one episode to go off of, and a lot of it was character introduction-y, and like, here's what we're gonna be doing. Where do we go from here? I don't know. I assume we're going to follow our main character around until he has various run-ins with these other characters. Maybe we'll introduce more cast members. I don't really know. But I'm kind of excited to find out. I thought episode 1 of Yesterday really held my attention. There was a lot of intrigue going on here. So let's watch episode 2 of Yesterday and see if that feeling continues. Okay, I've got episode 2 up and ready to go. It's sitting at 0 seconds. I assume that the version that I have doesn't have the after credit scene, so I've got it elsewhere, and I'll pull it up once we're done with the episode, and we'll see how I edit it in, if at all. But I've got the episode up and ready to go. It's 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions of this reaction. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video out there, linked in the describable-doo. Timer-based version will be up on YouTube. If you would like to sync up your own copy of Yesterday with the episode that I'm playing, you can totally do that. Just get your copy ready, because the beep beep timer to count you down will be coming at you now. Very pretty. Who is this? Is this Raven Girl? I don't think so. Shinako. Yeah, nah. Bruh. Bruh. She's really cute. Because she likes you, I think. Yeah, this guy gets it. Eh? Okay, here's the school. This is present. Nonokaharu. Hmm. Hmm. Aww. Aww, that's very sweet. And no sign of Haru. Is she here? She just here? Or the bird? Or something? Huh. Safety pin earring. Who's that voice? Hmm. Young, attractive teacher who still feels young and was just a student up until now. I don't know what to think of him. Ah, classic. That's what I'm thinking. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Alone, alone. And who will show up here? Oh, never mind. Flashbacks. So they were childhood friends? Yeah. Yeah. Ruh-roh. Awkward. So are we adding another... Seems like we're adding another corner to our love polygon. Hmm. Wow, that's gorgeous. Ah. You coming? Hmm. Oh, hi. Oh, that makes sense then. Just a coincidence. Death glare. Hmm. Oh, hello, other guy. Oh my god. What was that look? Does he recognize Rikuo? Or was it just realizing that that was Sensei? Yeah, it's a solid yes, but... Yes, but... Alright, who just walked in? Was it another boy? It was. You here to lay down the gauntlet, dude? Fucking hell. Oh, hi. So, both sides of this are having their own conversations at the same time, trying to get things laid out. Uh-huh. 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 Uh-huh, so this is a battle, eh? Uh-huh. Gearing herself up for it. What is it? Battle on an empty stomach. Wait, hold on. Hold on, buddy. Yeah, click. Bye. Step off, man. I'm just waiting for him to hit me with the we were destined to be together thing. Okay. What do you mean who she was in Kanazawa? Yeah. Yeah. Was she a punk? A super punk? What if she was a biker gang leader? Turned everything around. Mm. Okay. That's the big question. Yeah. Hmm. And leaving it hanging leaves you open. Oh. And that's whose back she was following, not his. And now she's cut her hair back to the cut she used to have then. Wow. Stringing him along. Hey. Okay. That's a lot. And he's gone. Where is he going? To intercept her on her way home? Yep. Hey again. What'd you come here to say? What's she going to say? Ah. I don't think so. Ow. Hmm. Okay. Cigarettes, laminated sakura, something about that Ferris wheel structure. I can't read what's on that list. It looks like a photo of something. Sketchbook, eraser, cigarettes, lighter, X-Acto knife. Hmm. When did the eraser get removed from its wrapper? We're slowly moving. Okay, hold on. I want to see that again. Yeah, okay. When does the change happen? There. Does anything else change? I don't see anything else changing. Nothing on the list changes. It's just as we transition from all the memory stuff into reminiscing stuff and the darkness of it. Okay. Interesting. Other thing that I noticed about this episode, there's no OP. I don't remember an OP in the first episode either. This may be an OP-less show. Interesting. Okay, before we talk about anything in the episode, I'm gonna go watch the little clip thing that I have. See what it's like. See what it's all about. I'll be watching it in VLC, so I may be able to edit it in. I'll just crop it down really hard or something. I don't know. Give me a sec. Here we go. It shouldn't be in the highest quality, but let's watch it anyway. Alright, there's our guy. He chucks one at her. I assume it's got the same thing written on it. Baka. Got it. Lost dog. Oof. And he's talking about himself. Snow means death. Yeah. Trying not to be a drag, I'd assume. Hmm. Shit. Well, this was a pretty sad episode. And a sad little after credits thing, too. Sheesh. I don't know what I just did. Okay, I like the episode. Overall thoughts, this was still really good. In a show that is so dialogue driven and attempting to be so grounded and so focused on interpersonal troubles and people's feelings, it can be really easy to get bogged down and feel like everything is kind of dragging, like scenes are going on too long, like there's too much dialogue, stuff like that. Never got that feeling over the course of this episode. I got the feeling like, oh, if this were not as well done as it is, I would be getting bored here. But it is as well done as it is, and so I'm not getting bored here. That sense was always tingling in the back of my mind, which is a compliment to the show more than anything. It's that it managed to pull this off. All of these little events that piece together into a weave of a bit of a narrative. Pretty neat. Pretty neato. Pretty neat. Okay. So, haircut. Haircuts are somewhat symbolic. Moving on, accepting loss, things like that. Okay. It's also very similar to the same type of hair that she had when she was young. When she lost him. So, there's something to this haircut for her. There's something to it. She looks out upon the blossoms and remembers. So we continue with the lovely little bits of character animation, like this whole sequence, which is looped a few times. It's very cute. She is just the cutest. I like her. She's great. I like her a lot. I like him too. He's kind of an ass sometimes, but I like him too. So right here is where we'd normally get the OP. There's no OP. We're just boom. We're into prep and stuff. All right, getting prepped for graduation, and there is Haru Nonoka, crossed out, red marker, no longer a student here, has been kicked out. I think the implication a little bit later in the episode is that Haru was working at a bar, and as far as I can remember, well, two things. One, I don't believe minors can work in bars, and two, I think Japanese students have to get special permission in order to have an after-school job or an arubaito. And she was probably doing it without permission. So I'm going to assume that we don't know this, but it's implied because of the blame guilt thing going on. Assume that Shinako somehow found out that Haru was doing this, was working at the bar, and did what she was forced to do, what she had to do as a new teacher, possibly her first year of teaching, right? Had to make a decision, and the decision was to follow her training, which is that you report such things, and so she reported such a thing, and there was outrage about it, and the girl was expelled. That's my assumption. Or there was outrage about it, and it turned into drama, and she left on her own accord. Unknown. Given the way that she's crossed out, I think she probably got expelled. And there's an element of that haunts her and tinges this otherwise lovely day. You get this as well. I really feel like I've become a teacher. It was only a short time ago that I was just a student. And all right, you'll come to the after party. We get to see some being a teacher stuff, and it's very sweet. And it's nice. It's very nice. And then she notices something strange. Someone in a room. And it's him. And he immediately strikes a bit of a character. He's got a bunch of desks arranged in a weird position so that he can draw them. His drawing, from what we see of it, looks really good. He seems talented. And the safety pin earring, I don't know, I think it speaks volumes to his character. It's a don't give a fuck type of thing to do, you know? All right, kiddo. I gotcha. So they immediately have some chemistry once they start interacting. It's pretty clear that they know each other and have known each other for a while. And they sort of banter back and forth. He calls her by her first name. She tells him, like, no, you gotta call me by my teacher name. Come on. So at this point, I wonder, are we adding another dimension to our love polygon? Maybe. Maybe, just maybe. I don't know. But we start to learn bits and bobs, bits and pieces. And her girlfriend, her peer as a teacher, starts to press her on romantic issues. And so the truth begins to come out. I like the way we flip forward through sequences, through segments, through scenes, in order to isolate the important things. And create moments like this one, broken up by the train crossing, and a palpable sense of lonely. Not just in the framing and such, but in the way that she's walking. Lost in thought, kind of shuffling forward almost. And she ends up here at the park where the blossoms are. And we don't know the importance of them yet, but they're important. And beautiful. But it's night. So they're not the same as the blossoms that we saw during graduation, not celebratory. But somber. We see this. Following behind him. A striking figure in front of her. Something solid. But gone now. At first I thought it was... Look at my notes. Ro-kun. I thought it was him. For good reason, it's meant to look like him. But the age didn't make sense, because he's so much younger than she is. She's a college graduate. No, it was his brother. This conversation I found interesting. In both the way it's written and the way that the voice actors do it, or say their parts. It starts out with a lot of fumbling and a lot of awkwardness, and then slowly slips into a little bit more familiarity, like a hint of what kind of friendship and openness they used to be able to share. But there's still a tension to it, and a withholding and an awkwardness to their glances and to the framing and to the delivery of each line and to indeed the things that they say. Turning around, not facing each other, blah, blah, blah. Some really pretty stuff in the backgrounds. She laments that people don't really change, but time continues on. And this is where they start to become more familiar. He gets a little bit self-deprecating. She kind of returns in kind, but from a more somber perspective. Sees herself as stuck in a rut, held back, locked down, perhaps by a love that she can never complete. Because he died. And that comes in an echo as well in her conversation with Haru. I'll stay with you, but she just wants to be alone. This isn't right, but I don't know what to do. I can't accept your feelings, but at the same time, this is weird, and I don't want to cut you off completely. Why can't we just be the same as we used to be? Because we can't. But they agree to try. Sort of. And then Haru shows up, and things get awkward. And then other boy shows up, and things get awkwarder. And then two separate confrontations occur simultaneously, from our perspective, with Ro and Haru both going and confronting their respective same-gender versions of the themselves. Oh boy. Let's go watch the cherry blossoms. And she gives us a pretty clear indication of what's on her mind. They say you can't fight on an empty stomach. We're going to battle, girl. Okay. All right, so she says this one line, yeah, you know, I was working at a bar, but I didn't drink a drop of booze. I wasn't breaking the law. It doesn't mean anything, but it was outside of her control once it was reported up. It's behind them, kind of, sort of. Let's have a contest. All right, and then he throws down the gauntlet, does the whole, like, you don't really even know her, dude, thing. They converse, and the story drops. And it's a little bit more legit than I thought. And he sees himself as a bit of a protector type. You're not good enough for her. Normally that comes with a, and I am. That doesn't seem to be present here. At least if it is, it's not at the forefront. Won't ever be more than friends. That's not fair. Even if you make him turn to me instead, it would only be a compromise. And I don't want it to be a compromise. I want to win or lose. I don't want loose threads, and that's the key. There's actually someone I'm in love with, but he's gone. Oof. All right, then we get the rest of the story. Okay. I thought you were keeping Rikuo as a backup, which is horribly cruel. I'm declaring war, which doesn't seem to be necessary. But okay, we get some badass panning shot things, so that's pretty awesome. It wasn't your fault that I quit school. I feel like there was another line that I'm missing, which was where she says something about, like, if it's a compromise, then, or I don't know how love works, but, like, you have to take it to fruition, or at least come to some kind of conclusion about it, which is exactly in like contrast to what Shinako has been doing. She's been living in the past, in a rut, not moving past it. Woof. Okay, and then we have this conversation. She doesn't want to make an excuse, can't let go of the past, feels ashamed of that. It won't work if one of us has to put effort into it. Okay, so that we can't be friends. And then he says that he would rather wait. It's fine. I'm kind of confused because this conversation goes like 3 different directions, and then I don't know where it actually ended up settling. Because he says, I'd rather wait than be friends. And pieces out. Okay, yeah, I really don't know what that was meant to be. All right. Interesting episode. We're definitely piling on some layers of drama and trauma. Having all of our characters interact, introducing a new one to the bunch. Very much love triangle-y. And now we have a declaration of war, kind of on 2 fronts. All right. I still think the show is really well put together. And I definitely enjoyed watching it. I do think that this second episode didn't have the same kind of oomph as the first one. But I think it's still good enough that I'll give it an episode 3 and we'll move from there. Okay. Me Tiabu. This yesterday. I hope you liked it as much as I did. If you have your own interpretations of any of their conversations or what conclusions you think they're coming to, throw them at me in the comments. I'll read them. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to catch you next week when we will probably watch more. Peace.